Hope everyone had a good Gemini new moon. This is just last night. It happened last night, but we're still under this energy very strongly because Moon is still in Gemini because this new moon happened at very early degrees of Gemini, at 6 degrees of Gemini. So Moon will stay here in Gemini until tomorrow. Yes, 28th tomorrow until like 1:30 p.m. in the Eastern time zone. We are still processing this quite moving Gemini new moon, right? Gemini energy, and then plus with the fact that Mercury, the ruling planet of Gemini, was in conjunction with this new moon. This is a very Mercurius time. Mercurius archetype is fast. It's a fast shift. It's a fast movement. It is communication. It is an idea. It is curiosity. It is a very youthfulness, playfulness, taking everything lightly. And I think this is a big energy shifting point because, since the beginning of this year, Mars was in retrograde since the end of last year, since December of 2024. Mars was in retrograde, and then when Mars came out, Venus went retrograde, Mercury went retrograde. There was a big opposition of Pluto and Mars, right? 3 times it battled the Mercury, the Mars, the warrior Mars, the ego, the drive, meeting with Pluto, the destroyer, the very strong power archetype. It created a lot of heaviness and density to many people. But now with this Gemini new moon, this is like a fresh air, fresh breath of air moving in, the new cosmic wind carrying us, ready to carry us into a different direction, is really the energy that we want to tap into. And that is the archetype of the energy that we are under. And this week, like today, right after the moon met up with the sun, the Mercury now approaching. Mercury was at 3 degrees or 2 degrees, I believe, 2 degrees or 1 or 2, I forgot. Under the Gemini new moon, I have a chart here. Yes, Mercury was at 2 degrees of Gemini, and today it is approaching to the 3 degrees of Gemini, which creates a trine. Not the grand trine, but the trine is the 60 degrees apart, harmonious aspect with Pluto. But Pluto is the planet of, again, right, destruction. It is the energy of renovation. It is the energy of metamorphosis. In order for us to renovate something, it's like a mental renovation, right? Because Mercury is all about the mind. So Pluto meeting up with the mind, Mercury is, I feel like this is the renovation that's happening in our mind. Old ideas, old limitations, old ways of thinking, and kind of like old ways of processing information, old ways of perceiving everything. I think the only thing that can really hold us back is the mind. And then with this brand new energy coming in, and Pluto is a key player under this new moon, and today this Mercury meeting with the Pluto is like, it can bring up the hidden stuff, repressed stuff, like here, like you gotta deal with it kind of energy. Pluto can dig into our psyche to bring something into the surface so that we may feel deeply, or we may have to face something. We gotta kind of like stepping into our power. It's the maturity that we are required to stepping into right now. With Saturn in Aries, that is maturity, that is self-confidence, that is like It's like a self-mastery, really, right? Saturn with Neptune. Saturn is now in Aries. It is being with Neptune now, and they're gonna travel together, right? So throughout the summer, and then they are going to go retrograde one by one, and then they're gonna return back to Pisces. But this energy, Saturn, is a restriction as well as the force of manifestation. Saturn holds the power to bring something down into concrete, and Neptune is the planet of dreams and visions and imagination. Under that last new moon, I mentioned about I don't know if I mentioned about this, but yes, I mentioned about how this new moon was held a lot of feminine archetype, right? Because of that Saturn and Neptune meeting with Ceres, the asteroid of the Mother Earth, kind of an archetype, nourishing archetype. Plus, under this new moon, Vesta, Black Moon, Lilith conjunction played a huge role, the focal point of the skinny triangle of the finger of Yod, finger of God, the Yod aspect. So the divine feminine, the suppressed, repressed aspects of the ourselves are emerging, and it more power to that, right? And with that Saturn Neptune archetype, it is about manifestation. It is about making our dreams come true. But I personally think that the way of manifestation is shifting. It has to change now, right? I feel like this Saturn Neptune conjunction in Aries is already changing our foundational understanding of who we are. It's changing our fundamental understanding of what energy is, what this whole entire universe is. It's whole thing, right? We're just really expanding our consciousness and awareness, and we're seeing everything from a different perspective, on an energetic perspective, through the spiritual perspective. And this is a big reset point of the past thousands of years, right? Because Saturn and Neptune hasn't met in Aries in such significant way at early degrees of Aries. And then this is the time that we are again shifting the way that we make dreams to come true. We were told to dream big and work hard, and just do a lot of work, push to get to there, achieve goals and make your dreams come true. That's a very masculine, yin yang yang driven way to manifest something, right? So what is the yin kind of a like yin archetype driven way to manifest something or to make dreams come true? That is about imagination and truly understanding the power of visualization, really understanding the power and how our mind works, and to work with quieting the noise of the mind and deleting the old ideology and old understanding of the world or about ourselves. And we are ready to choose to use that internal kind of like activation of the alchemy to shift something energetically, to start shifting our reality outside, because outside reality is a pure reflection of the internal world, right? Sorry, I had my phone ringing. Anyway, so we are really going through such like a energy shift is happening. How we use our energy, how we live, how we act, how we dream. Everything is shifting, yes? So this week, again, under this new moon, we want to keep that awareness. I think it's very important for us to be mindful of that, because Mercury ruled very mental, power driven. Gemini New Moon is all about inviting us to think different, but we are just so stuck in the mind, right? All the computer program, and then we even though we understand the mechanics of the vibrational reality, sometimes it's hard to snap out of that warring mind, or even though, okay, visualization and dreams about what if my reality sucks and then this is the problem that I have to face, and right, our mind can bring up so many excuses or so many reasons, right? Because the mind reasons, mind analyzes, mind rationalizes things, and the mind, right, plan things or trying to figure out. But all those archetypes of the mind that I said is the yang, yin yang, yang driven, right? It is just keep pushing us forward, because because the mind makes us feel like I'm lacking something, I'm missing something, and then I'm in a critical state of, right, all that bad stuff happening, whatever that you may be going through. But it's just also that's the ego driven mind that's driving us nuts. And how can we snap out of it, right? Again and again, what we put our attention to, we are giving life to it. So the more that we give life to our own problem, by thinking about it, by analyzing, and by, it's almost like we're just like reading all the books about the mind, right? About like electricity. It's just like you buy a new electric, like a thing, a new device or a new camera or a new whatever, right? Sometimes like we want to understand how to operate this thing, and then we read description and explanations of how to make this new thing function. But sometimes like we're just reading, and then trying to understand without just taking an action of just doing it. Just give up thinking, right? Just give up. Like radical shift is here with us. And this is a powerful new moon, because this is like the new moon that starts, the 2025 starts now kind of energy, right? We had so many delays and so much eclipses and so much like craziness, and that next eclipse that's gonna happen in September is not gonna be an easy one. By that time of that September 14th and 21st, I believe, the next eclipse cycle, maybe September 7th and 21st or something like that, we're gonna have like 2 pair eclipses in September. But by that time, Saturn will be back in Pisces, right? It's just like all those outer planets back in that old signs. We are gonna have to deal with that old stuff again then. But now, almost all the planets are still moving forward in June. June is a key player of this year, of our life, really. This is a significant point, because all the planets are moving into a new sign now, right? Even next week, this week it's like a preparation time for big month of June, because June is going to be a big moving month. Let's finish up, right? So today there is Mercury Pluto trine, and then the moon will move into Cancer tomorrow, and then the Friday, the Sun Mercury Kazemi is gonna happen. Sun Mercury Kazemi, the Sun and Mercury aligning with the heart of the Sun. It is diving. The Mercury is gonna dive into the fire of the Sun to be revitalized at the central chamber, the heart of the Sun. That every time that Mercury dives into the heart of the sun during the midpoint of Mercury retrograde, and then also after that Mercury retrograde. This is after that Mercury retrograde, right? Mercury is in moving forward. Mercury is moving super fast now. Mercury is in Gemini, but soon, in a few weeks, Mercury will ingress into Cancer already. It's like pew, 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 you know, it's a movement is here fast. Whenever we are thinking, it's the delay, because like we cannot act on it, we cannot move, right? We just, this is not a time to do that. We want to avoid that as much as we can. Choose not to think ahead so much. Think what we can do now, today, and do it. Whether it's like doing a laundry or doing like whatever, like journaling or doing whatever, like we've been procrastinating, just do it, or move your body, right? Just run and exercise and jump around and quiet the mind, you know, all those kind of things is good. And Mercury aligning with the heart of the sun at 9 degrees of Gemini, it's another, like this whole week we're gonna carry this Gemini new moon energy. So it's not like done and over. No, we are still like floating with the wind of this Gemini, which is ready to take us into a brand new space, brand new world is opening up right in front of us. And then we wanna keep knocking on a new door, keep opening up the windows of possibilities and opportunities, and keep like initiating the actions and movements. Yeah. And then later at the end of the week, the Venus will align and in conjunction with Chiron, and there can be a big like new value system. The self-worth, self-value maybe shifting because the way that we think about ourselves are changing. We are not here to like, I am here and then we are here, and I am not here to compare myself with this or with that. I am here to be me and shine my light. That is the energy that we are stepping into right forward. And why does this Gemini energy so important is because of the fact that in July 7th, Uranus, the planet of evolution and revolution and innovation and the futuristic vision, Uranus is moving into Gemini on July 7th. Gemini hasn't come to Gemini. Uranus hasn't come to Gemini for the past 84 years. So after 84 years, Uranus is returning back to Gemini. Uranus has been in Taurus since 2018. So this year, right, Neptune ingressed into Aries for the first time since 2011, 2012, and then Saturn ingressed into Aries recently, and Saturn was in Pisces since 2023, right? So now Jupiter is ingressing into, I'm sorry, I'm kind of going all over the place, but Jupiter next month, Jupiter is ingressing into Cancer on June 9th. And then even before that, Venus is moving into a new sign in Taurus. Finally, dignity is coming back to planets, because all the planets are in a very weak placement right now. Jupiter doesn't like to be in Sagittarius. Jupiter is out full in Sagittarius, and Mercury has its dignity because Mercury is in Gemini. But Venus, after going through big retrogrades and being in a detriment, being in Aries, finally Venus is gaining her power and strength back as she ingresses into Taurus on June 6th. And then on June 8th already, next week, Mercury will ingress into Cancer. And then June 9th, Jupiter is ingressing into Cancer. So a lot of planets moving into a new sign. And in June, still all the planets are going to be in direct motion, pushing us forward and returning back to Uranus. When Uranus returns back to Uranus, when it ingresses into Uranus on July 7th, Uranus is gonna like explosive new wind. It can be very stormy even. This is just like this new moon time is just like a preparation for this Uranus's ingress into Gemini, because Gemini is the wind, right? It's the air element, it's the wind. Also, Uranus is the planet that brings this air quality, because Uranus is the ruling planet of Aquarius. So air and air, big wind, fast moving shift and changes are coming our way. And not only because of the fact that Uranus is just only moving into a new sign. When Uranus moves into the early degrees of Gemini, it's gonna sextile Saturn and Neptune that's now in Aries. It's gonna trine Pluto hanging around at the very first degrees of Aquarius. So all those outer planets gonna be vibrating together as Uranus ingresses into Gemini on July 7th. So this is enormous. It's big, huge. Uranus never likes to go back. Uranus is an energy of, again, future, moving forward. It's the planet of liberation. Uranus hates to be stuck. Uranus hates to just doing the same old thing and stay stuck in the same old place. You know, Uranus is all about just change, devotion to shift the change in the mind, change in the feelings, change in the way that I act, change in the way that I dream, everything, change is everything now, period. So this week, let's pull some cards for this week. We are going to continue to ride this energy and waves of change. Change is everything. Change is who we are on a molecule level, elementary molecule level, vibrational level, quantum field level. We are all just a vibration. Vibration is never stuck. All alive beings, we are the vibration, always moving and shifting and dancing and, right, like spiraling and spinning around and evolving and growing and dying and rebirthing and, right, all that. So this is the time that we want to keep vibrating. Keep vibrating our heart with the godly energy, which is joy, which is excitement, which is the jolt of enthusiasm and Eight of Swords. This was the card that ruled that Gemini New Moon, right? I spoke about this. Gemini New Moon was kind of ruled by Eight of Sword, because Eight of Sword is in Minor's card of, according to the Golden Dawn, kind of a tradition of understanding of Tarot. Each card can be associated with astrological signs, and the Eight of Swords is the card that rules the first decan of Gemini. Decans are, we have 3 decans in each signs. First 0 to 10 degrees is the first decan. 11 to 29 is the 19, right? 11 to 20 is the second decan. 20 or something like that. 0 to 9 is the first decan. 10 to, yes, anyway. So the first decan was associated with the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords was all about, even though we may not see clarity, we need to trust our own inner gut, inner strength, inner God, right, lies within, to keep on moving with the dignity, with the strength, with the faith. That was the Eight of Swords energy. And now Queen of Cups showing up is the card that is reminding us to meditate, to to find space and time where we can withdraw our energy from the fast moving energy of the world. But and then also because of this, this is, yes, change is here, and the wind is blowing in so many different directions, so we can get scattered, we can feel a little overwhelmed, confusion, anxiety, agitation can come up, because even though we may know that we have to change and we want to initiate something, but then a part of us may feel like, but I don't know where, I don't know which way I'm going, and I feel very lost and stuck, and I feel heavy. In those times, like, we have to remember to be totally okay with not knowing where the heck we are going. The Queen of Cups is the card that she chooses to go silent. She chooses to go inward, just holding on to that holy grail of, the cup represents the divinity, cup represents the inner magic, cup represents that water element, which is receptivity, just diving into the inner ocean, the depth of the inner ocean within our psyche, which holds stillness, the inner quiet, the inner bliss. Because even when our mind can bug out and go all over the place, our spirit is just enjoying it all in a way, right? Our spirit is just like, I'm just here existing, enjoying my existence, enjoying every experience, and then I am just the simple presence is the presence of spirit. Simple wholeheartedness, because spirit knows no matter what, our mind may think certain experience as negative and certain situations as positive, but for our spirit everything is neutral. There is no right or wrong, there is no good or bad. I'm just here to enjoy, right? And the Hangduma. Yes, Hangduma is the energy. It's reversed. So we need to just kind of like change. Yes, change is here at the back of the deck. Two of Cups, Two of Pentacles. We're juggling the change. We're dancing with the wind. We're just stepping through whatever comes, whatever goes. Maybe this, maybe that, maybe here, maybe that. It's okay to juggle and initiate and do so many things. Just keep dancing and enjoy that, right? All the ideas and new awareness and new kind of like ideas coming in. Enjoy that. But at the same time, again, Hanged Man reversed is the energy that's reminding us to stop. Right, Hanged Man is the card that is just holding a little bit, like he is being upside down, hanged, being upside down, and he is not in a comfortable position, but he chooses to go there. It's almost like meditation. We hate sitting still, right? Many of us hate to sit still. Meditation can be a really hard practice because it brings up a lot of agitation. Our mind is not used to stay still, so our mind can get very aggravated when we choose to sit still and do nothing and don't think anything. And sometimes Hangdoban reversed can represent that kind of like restlessness, but we want to choose to tap in, to put ourselves in that uncomfortable situation, but then not to react, like not to react or resist. Working with resistance is the practice of meditation. Choosing not to keep fighting and resisting, but like letting go of the resistance. Like the Hanged Man this guy, with a moment that he chooses to let go of trying to come out of this uncomfortable place, that's the moment that enlightenment happens. The halo comes out because he's surrendering to the cosmos, surrendering to God, the universe, and he knows whatever is happening is guided by the higher power. So I choose not to resist, I choose to accept, and then I choose to just be in, to be the current of the cosmos and just be still and accept and be here. Full existence, full aspects of myself just being here, and that I choose to be. Right? We are human beings. We are not human doings and pushing beings, right? So it's very important for us to hold space so that we can tap into our own inner magic, because the Hanged Man is a very magical card ruled by Neptune, ruled by, it is the card of mysticism and magic. And sometimes we have to see everything from upside down, from a different, completely different perspective, to tap into that timeline of that magic, and like some different timeline. So if you just keep doing the same thing, keep thinking the same way, acting the same way, reacting the same way, it's we're gonna just keep being trapped, right? Seven of Wands, and Seven of Wands is, this person is trying to fight against all those enemies or resistance, or who we consider as enemies, and we're trying to come out of, to let ourselves free. But maybe the more that we resist, the resistance persists, just like the Hanged Man. The what I see as the guidance is like, we can choose to drop that wand that you're holding on to. You're trying to defend yourself, holding on to this fire, aggression, anxiety, frustration, the anger, the fire, right? But then choose to drop that wand and walk away from that hill. You can walk away, right? That resistance and holding that frustration is making you out of balance, because in Rider's deck, this guy is wearing like a different kind of shoes, different like mismatching shoes that can indicate some kind of an imbalances. The more that we resist, the more we fight against something, the more we hold frustration against something, we get depleted. We get separated from that source, from that God within us, because our source of who we are is whole and complete, and bliss and love, that is who we are. So the more that we resist, that we are way being far away, separated from who we are as the source, as God, as that powerful spirit that we are. So that we choose to drop the wand, to walk away. We choose to surrender and trust. I know there is some kind of a new shift coming my way. If I can shift something internally, profoundly, if I can find that true sense of freedom and liberation deep in my soul, deep in my psyche, something got to break and open up for us in the outside physical reality as well. So this is our commitment, devotion to our own spirit, devotion to our own inner peace, inner ease, and that Queen of Cups, right? Through this week, may we choose to keep tapping in, and connect to the source of bliss, the source of magic, the source of love, and just be easy on ourselves, be easy on others. On a vibrational level, we're inseparable, and how we are vibrating individually affect how we are vibrating collectively, and certain heavy and dense frequency vibration is being emitted through media and through all the news and through all humanity, to all beings. Like, we're inseparable. So may we not take our individual practice lightly, and know if we can shift something, each of us internally, that's gonna change the world. It's inevitable. That's what I believe. So may we choose to ignore and separate ourselves from certain energetic vibrations that is not really aligning with where we want to stay aligned, and then we want to just discern, right? Discernment is important when we are committing to our spiritual practice. So discern and choose certain energetic vibrations that feel resonant and that feel like a good alignment at this point, because this is such a powerful times of change. Yes, may we choose to keep, you know, holding a greater vision, powerful vision of ease. And, you know, it's not a powerful vision is needed. It's the vision of, be the vision of ease here and now. It's not about the future. Future is now. The past is now. The now is the past. Now is the future. The time is an illusion, and time is just, the thing that separates us. But it's all here. All is here. The wholeness is here. Goodness is here. Badness is here. Everything is here, and then that's the good part, good thing about life. So enjoy it. Yes, let's enjoy it. Yes, thank you so much for listening. Peace.